Kenapa mic tak buka?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to all viewers. It is a great pleasure to welcome all viewers to the 14th series of Research and Innovation webinar, School of Electrical Engineering. My name is Sherry, the moderator for today's session. This program is brought to you live from School of Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University Technology Malaysia's Facebook. Without further ado, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Muhammad Kamal Ibrahim, the Associate Chair of Research and Academic Staff, to give a short opening, as well as introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Muhammad Azhar Abdul Razak, the Head of Biomedical and Instrumentation Electronics Research Group. Over to you, Prof.
Thank you very much, Puan Sherry Huzaimah, for introducing this event. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and salam sejahtera to all viewers. Thank you once again to all viewers that follow this webinar through our FB Live School of Electrical Engineering. My name is Professor Muhammad Kamal Abdul Rahim. I'm the Associate Chair of Research and Academic Staff, School of Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University Technology Malaysia. Our topics today entitled Biomedical Research and its Application Healthcare, that will be given by our Head of Biomedical Instrumentation and Electronic Research Group, Dr. Muhammad Azhar Abdul Razak. Before he gave his presentation, I would like to introduce our speaker today. Before that, please share, like, and comment our FB Live School of Electrical Engineering. Okay, Dr. Muhammad Azhar bin Abdul Razak received the Bachelor Engineering degree in Electrical Electronics from the University Technology Malaysia in 2003. He then obtained a Master of Science and PhD degree in Biomedical Engineering from University of Surrey, United Kingdom in 2008 and 2013 respectively. In 2008, he was employed as a lecturer at the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, University Technology Malaysia, and promoted to a senior lecturer in 2013. Since then, he was appointed as Head of Biomedical and Instrumentation Electronics Research Group. He has produced more than 30 articles and led 7 projects from 14 research grants. His research interests include image processing, machine learning, cell analysis, dielectrophoresis, microelectrodes, electronic circuits, as well as microprocessor. The webinar will cover the current research that have been conducted by Biomedical and Instrumentation Research Group, especially in the area of electronics and biomedical instrumentations, biosensors, biomedical signal and image processing, and rehabilitations. Without further delay, I would like to invite Dr. Muhammad Azhar Abdul Razak, Head of Biomedical Instrumentation and Electronic Research Group, to give his webinar on biomedical research and its applications healthcare. Over to you, Dr. Muhammad Azhar Abdul Razak.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good afternoon to all the viewers. Thank you very much to Professor Dr. Muhammad Kamal Abdul Rahim and Mrs. Sharifah Huzaimah for the introductions. As been introduced, my name is Muhammad Azhar bin Abdul Razak, Head of the Biomedical Instrumentation and Electronics BIMI Research Group. Today, I'm going to share with all the viewers about my research group and the current research that we had conducted and delivered. At first, I'm going to introduce about my research group, our focus area, and the team members. Then I'm going to share with all the viewers about our current research and the application of it. After that, I will share our activities such as community, project and service, our achievement and collaborations, and also the internship and visitation. Our research group mainly focus on four major areas of research, namely electronics and biomedical instrumentation. Our second area of research is biosensors, which focusing on electronic nodes and flexible electrodes. Next research area is biomedical signals and image processing. And our fourth area of research is rehabilitations, which include assistive technology, speech rehabilitations, for risk analysis, technology and healthcare, diagnostic, prosthetic design. This year, two of our members, Dr. Puspa and Mr. Hamid, retired. Many thanks to both of them for their contribution and support towards the achievement of BIMI Research Group. But we still have 15 great active members that consists of 4 associate professors, Dr. Rubita, Dr. Nasrul, Dr. Nolaili, and Dr. Aileen. 10 senior lecturers, Dr. Fauzan, Dr. Amir, Mr. Ismail, Mr. Kamalil, Dr. Afzan, Mr. Johari, Dr. Ashikin, Mrs. Noafizah, Dr. Noraini, and me, one lecturer, Mrs. Mitra, and about 50 postgraduate students. You can find my research group members in our websites at www.bme.fke.utm.my. These numbers shows how field of expertise. Next, I'm going to share with you our current research. Let us start with the first area of our research, which is electronics and biomedical instrumentation. Heart attack remains the leading cause of death in Malaysia. Mini Heart Catcher is a project that acquires electrocardiogram or ECG signals and investigates the ECG with an intelligent algorithm to detect if an arrhythmia or irregular rhythm of heart is present. The algorithm is implemented as a mobile and web application named Mini Heart Catcher for real-time analysis of ECG signals. The latter research with Mini Heart Catcher focused on malignant ventricular arrhythmia, where the Mini Heart Catcher algorithm predicts a ventricular arrhythmia minutes to hours before it's happened. The hardware portions to acquire the signals is made up of ECG amplifier, Bluetooth module, electrodes, and microcontroller, and run with rechargeable battery with on-board programming for immediate alert. The project will allow a real-time notification for users, faster detections, early screening, particularly for the rural areas where it is difficult to have access to specialists are audible to the public. Next project is virtual reality simulator for surgical skill assessment. Surgical skill assessment needs to be made more objective and less reliant on availability of specialist evaluation. Furthermore, specific values such as will not be picked up but requires sensor-based measurements. This project aims to use computer-based virtual reality to access primitive tasks in microsurgery, such as reaching movement, needles grasping, and needle insertion. The virtual reality simulator can be used as tools for training surgical skills and providing objective or quantitative feedbacks to the trainee each time they train, making the training more effective. Our next project is the continuous infant monitoring system use 3 sensors such as pulse sensor, temperature sensor, and accelerometer to measure infant heart rate, body temperature, and position non-invasively. Guardians are able to monitor the infant continuously through a mobile application and can also access previous recorded data. In any event of unwanted situations, the system will notify the guardians via an alarm in the mobile application. The automatic portable phototherapy garment or APPG is a system which is able to measure real-time bilirubins non-invasively. Bilirubin is formed by the breakdown of red blood cells in the body. The liver helps to excrete it. High levels of bilirubin can lead to jaundice. The system also able to classify for three levels of jaundice conditions, namely normal, mild, and critical, and automatically determines the treatment period depending on different bilirubin severity range. This provides an alternative way for portable phototherapy in medical center in rural areas and refugee camps. We also developed a portable non-invasive blood glucose monitoring device that use a near-infrared sensor to measure blood glucose non-invasively. The device able to determine the required insulin dose, which correspond to the user body mass index (BMI). A reliability test was conducted by comparing the glucose concentration measurements from 4 different subjects using the finger prick method, a Q check, and the proposed device. The reliability test showed a reasonable percentage difference 4 to 10% between these two methods. Next project is a smart health monitoring system for the elderly. We have developed a comfortable wearing monitoring device for the elderly to detect a fall and send the notification through a smartphone. With this smart health monitoring device, we can monitor the elderly like our parents or grandparents when they are staying alone. Another project is detecting microslip while driving using pulse rate sensor. Car steering is equipped with pulse rate sensor that will sense the heart rate. If the driver heart rate drop below normal range, the alarm will be triggered. So we hope that with this innovation project, it could minimize the cost of accident in Malaysia because of the microslip. Our next project is developing human-machine interaction, especially for disabled people with hearing problems and who can't talk. The gesture is recognized based on the features extracted from initial measurement unit sensor or IMU that attach to hand glove. This system is capable of detecting and process every finger movement in real time and translate it to voice. Next project is a wireless brainwave control home appliances using a brainwave Bluetooth headset and a mobile phone. The headset has Bluetooth to send the brain signal to the mobile phone to be analyzed. By thinking and blinking, you can switch on or off your electrical home appliances. This system is intended to assist disabled or elderly people to control their home appliances. Next slide is a research using pulse echo ultrasound technique to find the correlation between reflected fast and slow wave from the single mode wave and the porosity and thickness of the bone phantom. We found that the fast and slow wave has a significant correlation with the porosity of cancellous bone. This finding might help to improve the estimation accuracy of bone health. Next, I'm going to share our research in the area of biosensors. Currently, we are developing dry electrodes using graphene material on textile for ECG monitoring device. This new textile-based electrode is developed to overcome the problem of commercially available silver-silver chloride electrodes. The commercial silver-silver chloride electrodes is a wet gel electrode. The gel will get dry gradually. Thus, it is not suitable to be used for ECG long-term monitoring. The gel also can cause skin irritation to some people. This textile-based electrode is reusable and biocompatible, flexible electrode for ECG monitoring device. This research is a collaboration between UTM, IS, IJN, and QDOS. Besides textile-based electrode, we also fabricate wireless ECG circuits on flexible PET substrate. With this design, we can have portable, lighter, and wearable wireless ECG device that easily can be attached to our body to monitor our heart health. We move on to the biomedical signal and image processing area. For image processing, our research group has developed many systems and applications that could detect blood-related disease such as anemia, thalassemia, and sickle cell anemia. We use a camera and attach it on a microscope to capture image of blood cells from blood film or peripheral blood smear, PBS. The image were then analyzed with different image processing technique, starting from image pre-processing, segmentation, feature selection, classification, and interpretation. As a result, we can do automatic cell counter based on the microscopic image that could help pathologists to determine the number of cells in a blood sample faster and offer cheaper methods of cell counting system. We also can help pathologists to diagnose patients with thalassemia disease at early stage. In this slide, both graphs on your right-hand side show analysis result of red blood cell, and the circles indicate the presence of thalassemia cells in the patient's blood. Once the thalassemia cells are identified, so appropriate medication could be given to the patient. Moreover, with the technique of deep learning, we can classify the severity level of sickle cell anemia patients much faster and cheaper. The conventional methods where the severity detection was done manually under a microscope by the hematologist, which is stressful and needs a minimum of 30 minutes on a single patient or through a complete blood count test, which is expensive. The advantage of the system are able to identify the abnormalities of red blood cells in the blood sample image as shown in the slide. The doctor or pathologist also can check the severity level of sickle cell anemia patients to provide appropriate treatment. In an innovative way, we integrate a mobile phone with a microscope and do the image acquisition and analysis on the phone to count number of cells automatically, and we name it cell code. We also did the classification of red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets using deep learning algorithm to help medical doctor interpreting peripheral blood film or PBS and do the cell counting. We also developed a system that can be used in video surveillance to quickly detect and highlight abnormalities without relying on human eyes, which prone to error and fatigue. The system was developed using transfer deep learning and binary support vector machine. Next is a research on interpretable convolutional neural network or CNN for EEG decoding. EEG stands for electroencephalogram, and it is a signal that represents brain electrical activity and can be recorded via non-invasive method. In this work, we propose compact and interpretable CNN based on SYNACT to improve end-to-end coding methods. It is for brain-computer interface or BCI application. Image on top left is the image of a subject undergoing proposed BCI training protocol to enhance brain kinesthetic activation. We believe increase in kinesthetic activation leads to higher BCI system performance. Figure bottom left shows spatial pattern extracted from proposed CNN architecture. These patterns highlight areas of the brain that is relevant during decoding of EEG signals. Also with EEG signal, we can compare the brain electrical activity pattern of chess players when solving the chess puzzles. It is useful for chess coach to see how good is his player to think and play the chess. Our next EEG research is detection of depression using screening tools and EEG measurements. We use patient health questionnaire screening tools, which is widely used as an early screening tools for depression, and classified the subject into 3 depression severity. EEG measurements were recorded and brainwave patterns were compared between different depression severity. It is found that depressed group showed lower alpha 1 and 2 and beta amplitudes compared to normal group of almost all channels, especially the frontal region. Ventricular fibrillations or VF is considered as a life-threatening heart disease that crave for emergency treatment. VF or ventricular fibrillations can only be treated by an electric defibrillator that delivers an electrical shock to the chest to restore the heart into normal sinus rhythm or NSR. However, if ventricular tachycardia or VT is misinterpreted as VF, the patient will receive unnecessary shock that could damage the heart. On the contrary, if VF is misclassified as VT, that will lead to sudden cardiac arrest, which is life-threatening as well. Thus, making the correct and prompt detection of VT and VF are very important. A part of second-order dynamic methods, another method was developed to classify cardiac arrhythmias signal. This project used 1D CNN, which is one of the deep learning algorithm models. This method able to classify 6 types of cardiac arrhythmia: atrial flutter (AFL), atrial fibrillations (AF), premature ventricular contraction (PVC), ventricular tachycardia (VT), ventricular fibrillation, VF, and normal sinus rhythm, NSR. Next, research is using a deep learning methods to recognize spot action from spot video, match, and initial sensor. The image shows the subject or athlete wearing the sensor at his arm. Uh, the signal generated by the sensor is used to recognize the action of players such as smash, drop, and so on. If he is playing badminton, spot video match is used to feed into the deep learning model to recognize the spot action. With this research, we believe that we can help the spot analysis to provide the tactical analysis. Next research is aimed to help the radiologists in detecting COVID-19 from chest X-ray image. We have demonstrated that the system is able to classify the type of pneumonia using deep learning approach. We also have developed the apps that is able to detect a person either wearing mask or not using deep learning face detector model. The system could help the authorities to monitor remotely in ensuring people are wearing a mask in the crowded public space. Next research is about surface electromyogram, SEMG signal, is a muscle signal. The objective of this research is to develop an affordable portable SEMG that able to detect the muscle activity of upper limbs using MyWare muscle sensor and analyze with principal component analysis or PCA. We analyze the best parameter from EMG signal and use it as input to control the home appliance. The system is useful for bedridden elderly. This slide shows the testing of real-time eyes gaze tracking system using artificial neural network. The idea is to help a person who suffer from severe motor disabilities to navigate a wheelchair using his eyes and improve his independence mobility. We have some expert in rehabilitation area. Our research includes fine motor training for special needs children such as autistic and Down syndrome children using 3D toys and digital platform. So far, the result very promising, and longer training period at children on free will help promote self-care among special needs children, which with better performance of their fine motor skills. Next project is about investigating the feasibility of infrared sensors in measuring the object dimension for 3D image reconstruction. The object model is placed at the center platform of the infrared sensor array and rotated by a stepper motor for 360-degree model plane. We managed to reconstruct the prosthetic model shown in this slide with an average accuracy of 97%. The sensor device could be applied to reconstruct patient lower limb prosthetic. Another project is virtual reality-based hand rehabilitation for post-stroke patients using lip motion sensor. This idea is trying to help patients who suffer from a stroke to perform home-based therapy by moving hands based on the game's activities on the screen. Besides using lip motion sensor, we also develop game-based rehabilitation system using Kinect sensor. It is promising option for post-stroke patient since it engage patient with fun-based exercise during the rehabilitation process. Okay, that's end of our research. Then we move on to our community project and services. The first community project by our research group, BIMI, and collaboration with some members from Computational Nanoelectronic Cone Research Group is a Tua mini robot. The objective are to share the knowledge with community, especially in electronic field, programming, Internet of Things, and robotics. This is an effort to empower science, technology, engineering, and mathematics STEM subject at school and at the same time to improve the robotic related activities at school. Here are some images taken during the robot tour activities together with school teachers, secondary school students, Scout Johor, and also special students. We can see the students' ability and talent after many activities. Another community project that just happened due to pandemic COVID-19 is automated attendance recording system using Jom Hadir apps and iSuhu body temperature monitor. The objective is to assist mosque, school, and any premise to record daily attendance automatically using QR code. This project could be beneficial to promote electronics and IoT knowledge among the community. Here are some images taken at schools and mosques or masjid that use our Jom Hadir and iSuhu system. We also do some community service by participating in School STEM Day. We share our medical electronics engineering based project among the school students to increase interest in engineering program and science. One of our team members is Malaysian chess coach. Associate Professor Dr. Nasrullah Humaimi has involved in many chess activities development with disabled people and trained many OKU chess players for para-Asian games. Okay, so this slide shows some of our achievement receive award from many competitions such as Inatech, Innovate Malaysia, and National Innovation Awards. And the latest award we received was the Best Research Group Award from our engineering faculty. Biomedical Instrumentation and Electronic Research Group has collaborated with these entities, the IJN, Schools MOS, HSA, Sekolah Kanak-Kanak Istimewa, USTAR Asian Consortium, Satuan Catur Orang Kurang Paya, Joe Scout Flag Tag, and many more. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to all the collaborators. Our group also received students from UNIKL Polytechnic College Kemahiran Tinggi Mara Ledang to do their internships and visit from a graduate school of electrical engineering and computer science, ANSIA France, Ritsu Mekan University Japan, and Swiss German University located at Indonesia. With that, I end my presentation with terima kasih to all the viewers. If you have any questions or have any intention to do a collaboration, pursuing your postgraduate studies and do your internship, so you are welcome to email me at muhammadazhar@utm.my or my colleagues. Or also you can find our group information at website bimi.fke.utm.my. Thank you for watching. Now, I pass the mic back to Professor Muhammad Kamal Over to you, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Azhar. Again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you to Dr. Muhammad Razak for sharing a very informative sessions here. Now, I would like to open for any question and answer sessions to all viewers. You can post your questions to the Facebook at the Facebook comment. While we are waiting for the question from the viewers, okay, just I would like to ask a very simple, questions. So, can you explain what's the difference between ECG, EEG, EMG, and EOG? Because maybe a lot of viewers here not really familiar with the biomedical things. So maybe you can just briefly highlight what is the difference between these four: ECG, EEG, EMG, and EOG.
All right. Okay. So thank you for that question. So basically, EECG is electrocardiogram signals which reflects the electrical activities of our heart. EEG stand for electroencephalogram, which is a recording of the electrical activity of the brain. Electromyogram or EMG is the muscle activity generated in muscles during its contractions, and then EOG or electrooculogram is a signal that obtained from the eye's muscle movement. The amplitude and bandwidth of the measurements vary for each of these signals. For example, ECG signal has the amplitude of 1 to 5 millivolt, around that, and bandwidth between frequency 0.05 and 100 hertz. For EEG activity, the amplitude is much smaller and measured in microvolt, with the main frequency of interest up to approximate 40 hertz. The amplitudes and bandwidth for all these electrical human activities are varies and can be found in related books or journals. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there any more to add? Okay, just another question. Is it compulsory to get ethical approval for research that involves human subject, and how to get this approval?
All right, good question. Yes, it is compulsory to get ethical approval when we deal with human or animals. Normally, we can get the approval through ethical committee of the organizations that conduct the research. Okay. Otherwise, we can apply through National Medical Research Registrar National Medical Research Register, and MRR under the Medical Research and Ethics Committee (MEREC) to get that ethical approval before we conduct the experiment that involve with the human or animals. Okay, I hope that can answer the question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, maybe what have your RG contributed to tackle the spreading of issue of the COVID-19 pandemics? What have your RG did? Inside.
Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, okay, we have a few projects that can cater this COVID-19 pandemic. One of it is ISUHU, the automated attendance recording system using Jom Hade apps. So you can download the Jom Hade apps freely from your Apple Store or the Android apps. We developed that Jom Hade apps to screen the body temperature of people and record their attendance automatically in a server for contact tracing purposes. It can be managed easily by the premise owner. I think with this system, we can ensure that personnel with a fever 37.4 degrees Celsius or more are restricted from entry into premise. This could minimize the probability of spreading the virus. Okay, but the more important is we practicing 3W. Okay, the first W is wash, so we can wash our hand with soap or sanitize our hand. The second W is wear the face mask in the public area, and the third W is warn, reminder from the health ministry. So I think that's the answer for that question.
Okay, all right. So since we don't have any more questions, so I think that's the end of the question and answer. Now I would like to pass over to Puan Sherry for the closing remarks and introduce our next week webinar series on research and innovation, School of Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, University of Malaysia. Over to you, Puan Sherry. Tutup pula dah suara.
Like and comment and share our Facebook and videos to your friends and colleagues. And guys, please don't forget to join us next week, 22nd of September 2020, 2:30 p.m. for the next series of webinar with our guest speaker, Dr. Asrul Izam Azmi, the head of Lightwave Communication Research Group, on the title of Recent Development in Optical Fiber Sensor Techniques and Applications. Alright viewers, as usual, I will end this session with a quote. There are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday and the other is called tomorrow. So today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. Okay, dolls, selamat Hari Malaysia and happy holiday. See you all next week. Stay safe, keep your distance, and stay tuned. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.